Have you ever discussed Special Counsel Mueller or his investigation with anyone?
Could you repeat that question?
Has the president or anyone at the White House ever asked or suggested that you open an investigation of anyone? Yes or no, please, sir? Seems you'd remember something like that.
I don't know.
Please answer the question.
Senator, I think I've answered the question.
No, you've not.
I'm not able to be rushed this fast. It makes me nervous.
Can you think of any laws that give government the power to make decisions about the male body?
I'm not thinking of any right now. Never mind.
Let's move on.
Okay.
My name is Scott from Tennessee. I'm a former Trump voter.
My name is Matthew. I'm from Pennsylvania, and I'm a former Trump voter.
My name is Mike. I live in southeastern Pennsylvania, and I am a former Trump voter.
The main reasons why I won't support Donald J. Trump for president again starts with his chaotic behavior.
He doesn't care about me. He doesn't care about my family. He doesn't care about working people.
34 counts, felony counts that he was found guilty of. That's not who we want running our country.
Trump scares the hell out of me.
2024 will be the first time that I have not voted for a Republican.
I will be proudly voting for Kamala Harris.
This is a fight that affects every single American. No matter where you live, so-called blue states or red states, if Donald Trump has his way, he's going to push through their extreme agenda. Project 1825. I'm sorry. I rolled that back. I got that wrong. Project 1925. Oh, I'm sorry. Project 2025. That poisonous agenda where every single state will be in a state of crisis.
Tonight, let's talk about freedom, including our most intimate freedom, choosing when and if to have children and have a family. And let's talk about Project 2025, Donald Trump's roadmap to ban abortion in all 50 states. Look, that sounds crazy, but right here on page 562, it says that Donald Trump could use an obscure law from the 1800s to single-handedly ban abortion in all 50 states, even putting doctors in jail. Page 486 puts limits on contraception. Page 450 threatens access to IVF. On page 455, Project 2025 says that states have to report miscarriages to the Trump administration. Page 451 says the only legitimate family is a married mother and father where only the father works. You know what? I'm going to take that one out. I'm going to put that in my pocket so I can share it with undecided voters so they better understand what's at stake this election. Project 2025 would turn the entire federal government and bureaucracy into a massive machine. It would weaponize it to control our reproductive and personal choices. Look, as a Redditor, gamer, entrepreneur, and Swiftie from the free state of Colorado, I'm excited by Kamala Harris's vision for protecting and expanding our personal freedom, internet freedom, and economic freedom. Democrats welcome weird, but we're not weirdos telling families who can and can't have kids who to marry or how to live our lives. These Project 2025 people, like Trump and Vance, are not just weird, they're dangerous. They want to take us backwards. But we aren't going back, like ever, ever, ever. Let's stop Project 2025 and elect Kamala Harris president this November.
I have a question for you. Who really wants a solution at our border?
Our administration worked on the most significant border security bill in decades. Some of the most conservative Republicans in Washington, D.C. supported the bill. Even the Border Patrol endorsed it.
And that bill included thousands of new border agents and personnel, new technology that can detect and stop fentanyl, more judges, and faster asylum processing. For the first time in decades, a chance at a real bipartisan solution.
But at the last minute, Trump directed his allies in the Senate to vote it down.
They're blaming it on me. I said, that's okay. Please blame it on me. Please.
He tanked the bipartisan deal because he thought it would help him win an election. Which goes to show Donald Trump does not care about border security. He only cares about himself.
The real difference is...
I was the Attorney General of a border state. In that job, I walked underground tunnels between the United States and Mexico on that border with law enforcement officers. I went after transnational gangs, drug cartels, and human traffickers that came into our country illegally. I prosecuted them in case after case, and I won. So here is my pledge to you. As president, I will bring back the border security bill that Donald Trump killed, and I will sign it into law and show Donald Trump what real leadership looks like.
I want to let you know that everything that you just saw in that video, that's exactly what happened. I know because I was the Democratic senator who negotiated that bill to secure the border with President Biden and Vice President Harris. And I want to tell you this as well. Donald Trump's allies weren't just in the room. They helped us write the whole bill. It was a bipartisan bill. It was a tough bill. $20 billion in new border security, gave the president the emergency power to shut down the border, made compassionate but serious reforms to our asylum system. One Republican said it would have had almost unanimous support if it weren't for Donald Trump. Trump killed that bill, and he did it because he knew that if we fixed the border, he'd lose his ability to divide us, his ability to fan the flames of fear about people who come from different places. Right? You guys know this, right? Hate and division, that's Trump's oxygen. Right? People like Trump and J.D. Vance, they need it to survive in politics. People are saying that they're weird, that they're creepy, and they are weird, they are creepy. But even worse, they're weak. Kamala Harris is not weak. For 20 years, Kamala Harris has been tough as nails when it comes to securing our border. When she was a California prosecutor, she went after drug smugglers, human traffickers. She put 100 gang members away in a single sweep. Trump says that a safe nation can't be an immigrant nation. That's flat wrong, and Kamala Harris knows it. She knows this too. Engraved on the Statue of Liberty is a poem. The last line reads, "I lift my lamp beside the golden door." For generations, that lamp has called people to start a brave new life in America. My ancestors, your ancestors, and the parents of the next President of the United States of America. Kamala Harris knows that we can be a nation of proud immigrants and a nation of strong immigration laws. That's why when she's president, she will bring that border bill back, and Kamala Harris is going to pass it. How do I know this? Because in this race, there is only one candidate who has ever been willing to do the worthy, redeeming work of making our country better, of recognizing that we do not have to choose between celebrating our heritage and enforcing our laws, right? The beautiful thing about America is that we can be both. We can be a nation of immigrants who love their country and a nation with a secure border. And there is only one candidate. There is only one candidate who can deliver that vision of America, and it's Kamala Harris. Thank you very much, Democrats.
So let's get the hard part out of the way. I am a Republican. But tonight, I stand here as an American. An American that cares more about the future of this country than the future of Donald Trump. My journey started to this podium years ago when I realized Donald Trump was willing to lie, cheat, and steal to try to overturn the 2020 election. I realized Trump was a direct threat to democracy, and his actions disqualified him from ever stepping foot into the Oval Office again. I could spend my time revving up this crowd, but I'm certain I don't have to talk anybody out of voting for Donald Trump here. So I'm going to focus my attention on the millions of Republicans and independents that are at home that are sick and tired of making excuses for Donald Trump. If Republicans are being intellectually honest with ourselves, our party is not civil or conservative. It's chaotic and crazy, and the only thing left to do is dump Trump. These days, our party acts more like a cult worshiping a felonious thug. Look, you don't have to agree with every policy position of Kamala Harris. I don't. But you do have to recognize her prosecutor mindset that understands right from wrong, good from evil. She's a steady hand and will bring leadership to the White House that Donald Trump could never do. Let me be clear to my Republican friends at home watching. If you vote for Kamala Harris in 2024, you're not a Democrat, you're a patriot.
We will never give up. We will never concede. It doesn't happen. You don't concede when there's theft involved. And after this, we're going to walk down, and I'll be there with you. We're going to walk down to the Capitol, because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength, and you have to be strong.
It does look like we're going to have an ad hoc march stepping off here. There's a crowd surge heading east.
Mike Pence, I hope you're going to stand up for the good of our Constitution and for the good of our country. And if you're not, I'm going to be very disappointed in you. I will tell you right now.
to give riot warnings as soon as the apparatus is here. We're going to give riot warnings. We're going to try to get compliance, but this is now effectively a riot.
49 hours declaring it a riot.
5 to 50 be advised. We're trying to breach and get to the Capitol.
Hold the line! Hold the line! Hold the line!
We have a breach of the Capitol. Breach of the Capitol to the upper level.
My kids didn't have the courage to do what should have been done to protect our country and our Constitution.
Bring out Perry. Bring out Perry. Bring out Perry.
We can't hold this. We're going to get too many people. Look at this vantage point, man.
We're trying to hold the upper deck. We're trying to hold the upper deck down.
We need an area for the House members. They're all walking over now through the tunnels.
We need to move down.
Copy.
If we lose any more time, we may lose the ability to leave. So if we're going to leave, we need to do it now. We've lost the line. We've lost the line. All MPD, pull back. All MPD, pull back into the upper deck. ASAP.
H208 with 4 members. The door's barricaded. There's people flooded the hallways outside. We have no way out.
Officers still remaining on the House floor, so we can secure the members on the other side. Copy. Officers down! Get them up! Get them up!
And if I win, I will be looking very, very strongly about pardons. And I mean full pardons with an apology to many, an apology. They were peaceful people. These were great people. The crowd was unbelievable. And I mentioned the word love, the love in the air. I've never seen anything like it.
Hello from a proud Texas Democrat. This November, I'll cast my first vote in a presidential election ever. The fact is, our right to vote is under attack. I've seen it. Long wait lines. People blocked from registering to vote. Texans denied our voice. Donald Trump's Republicans are making it harder for us to vote. But we won't let them get away with it. And Kamala Harris won't let them get away with it either. She's fought for our freedoms. She's fought for our voice. But we will only be heard if we vote. As the saying goes, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. So Gen Z, let's take our seat in our democracy and cast our ballots this November for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. And now, ladies and gentlemen, American icons.
All right. Y'all remember this big old book from before? When Colorado Governor Jared Polis ripped a page out of it? This is Project 2025, the Republican blueprint for a second Trump term. It is boo. It is a real document that you can read for yourself at kamalaharris.com/Project 2025. You ever seen a document that could kill a small animal and democracy at the same time? Here it is. You know how when you download an app and there are hundreds of pages there that you don't read, it's just the terms and conditions, and you just click agree, right? Well, these are the terms and conditions of a second Trump presidency. You vote for him, you vote for all of this. Let's take a look. All right, do we got Matt here with us tonight? Is Matt here? Hey, there he is. Matt, how are you, sir? All right, Matt. Now, Matt, I understand that you work as an AV tech in Nevada, and you make a decent hourly wage, is that right? Oh, I don't know if we can hear Matt. Can we hear Matt? So who's gonna fix it? Keep speaking, Matt, till we can hear you. Uh-huh, okay, that's good. I guess we're gonna move on from Matt. And this is Becky. Becky, can we hear you?
Hi, Keenan, it's great to be here.
Thank you. All right, good. Now, Becky, you're married, correct?
I am. Me and my wife have been together for about 8 years.
Oh, that's amazing. Very, very cute.
Thanks.
But I have got some bad news for you.
I hate that.
On page 584, Project 2025 calls for the elimination of protections for LGBTQ plus Americans. So yeah, right back to the Stone Age. I'm afraid so.
Right back to the Stone Age. That's terrible.
Yeah, it is. Thank you, Becky, for being here and making that wonderful point. All right, next up, we have Nirvana. Nirvana, are you with us? And your people are with us as well? All right, good. Now, Nirvana, I understand that you are on insulin to manage your diabetes, yes?
Yes, and thanks to President Biden and Vice President Harris, I only pay $35 a month for my insulin.
That is great. That is great. But on page 465, Project 2025 calls for millions of people like yourself to pay more for prescription drugs like insulin.
Why?
Why? Well, I guess maybe to help Big Pharma make more money that they can donate to Republican politicians, I assume.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes, unfortunately, it does make sense. All right, let's talk to Anita. Anita, are you there? Yes. Hello, Anita.
Hello.
And Anita, what do you do for a living?
I'm an OBGYN who delivers babies and does surgery.
An OBGYN? She is an OBGYN that delivers babies. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, yeah. It's bad news, isn't it?
It sure is. On page 459, Project 2025 resurrects a law from the 1800s called the Comstock Act to ban abortion nationwide and throw healthcare providers in jail.
Oh my God, that is awful.
Yes, it is awful. All right, let's do one more. Is Sharia with us? Sharia, are you there?
Hey, Keenan, I'm here.
Yes, Sharia, I love it. All right, let's talk to you. I understand that you work for the federal government?
Yes, sir. I'm in the United States Department of Education. I'm a proud civil servant and a proud union president.
She works for the Department of Education and she's a proud civil servant. Well, unfortunately for you, on page 78, Project 2025 calls for President Trump to purge the civil service of everyone who isn't a MAGA loyalist. Are you a MAGA loyalist?
Now, Keenan, absolutely not.
I'm just asking. I mean, you might as well be, because also page 319 calls for the complete elimination of the Department of Education. There's a bunch of stuff in here, but that's all we have time for at the moment. Just remember, everything that we just talked about is very real. It is in this book. You can read it online at kamalaharris.com/Project 2025. And most importantly, you can stop it from ever happening by electing Kamala Harris as the next president of the United States.
The road ahead will not be easy, which brings me to you-know-who. Donald Trump is like an old boyfriend who you broke up with, but he just won't go away. He has spent the last 4 years spinning the block, trying to get back into a relationship with the American people. Bro, we broke up with you for a reason.
You want to go outside today?
Yeah.
Want to go put your shoes on?
Yes.
Let's go outside. Ruby is 2 years old. I'm starting to think, will she be an iron worker like her dad? I hate to break it to you, but I'm not a billionaire. Donald Trump talked a big game about bringing jobs back to America, but it was all talk, like Foxconn.
This is the 8th wonder of the world. Foxconn, by most estimates, has not even come close to meeting expectations.
This whole project was a scam. He is not looking out for the residents. He's looking out for himself.
You know what Trump delivered? $2 trillion in tax cuts focused on his billionaire buddies and big corporations.
You're rich as hell.
It makes me angry. Billionaires don't pay their share of the load. And he wants to do that again. Trump talked a massive game about infrastructure. What a joke.
We call it Infrastructure Week. Infrastructure is the easiest of all. We're going to get this infrastructure going.
Trump was too incompetent to get it done. Who's he looking out for? Not us, not my family. You know who got it done? Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Biggest infrastructure package in history. Infrastructure is just a fancy word for jobs. Not just union workers, but for everyone. Small businesses are booming. Communities are starting to thrive again. I wish it was faster, but prices are easing. Kamala Harris helped deliver the largest job growth in American history. Wages are higher. Manufacturing is booming. We're building roads, bridges, airports again. That's a fact. And we have healthcare.
When our middle class is strong, America is strong.
Kamala's goal is to rebuild the middle class for families like mine.
Let's cut to the chase. I am too old to gild the lily. 2 days ago, I turned 78, the oldest man in my family for 4 generations. And the only personal vanity I want to assert is I'm still younger than Donald Trump. You're going to have a hard time believing this, but so help me, I triple-checked it. Since the end of the Cold War in 1989, America has created about 51 million new jobs. I swear I checked this 3 times. Even I couldn't believe it. What's the score? Democrats 50, Republicans 1.
Kamala Harris, well, she has spent her entire career making progress. Donald Trump, a man with no guardrails, wants to take away our rights and our freedoms. And listen, while he cloaks himself in the blanket of freedom, what he's offering isn't freedom at all. Because hear me on this, it's not freedom to tell our children what books they're allowed to read. No, it's not. And it's not freedom to tell women what they can do with their bodies. And hear me on this, it sure as hell isn't freedom to say you can go vote, but he gets to pick the winner. That's not freedom. But you know what? You know what, Democrats? We are the party of real freedom. That's right. The kind of real freedom that comes when that child has a great public school with an awesome teacher because we believe in her future. Real freedom that comes when we invest in the police and in the community so that child can walk to and from school and get home safely to her mama. Real freedom that comes when she can join a union, marry who she loves, start a family on her own terms, breathe clean air, drink pure water, worship how she wants, and live a life of purpose where she is respected for who she is.
We gather at this hallowed place because we believe in the American dream. We face a race that tests if this country we cherish shall perish from the earth, and if our earth shall perish from this country. It falls to us to ensure that we do not fall, for a people that cannot stand together cannot stand at all. We are one family, regardless of religion, class, or color. For what defines a patriot is not just our love of liberty, but our love for one another. This is loud in our country's call because while we all love freedom, it is love that frees us all. Empathy emancipates, making us greater than hate or vanity. That is the American promise, powerful and pure. Divided, we cannot endure, but united, we can endeavor to humanize our democracy and endear democracy to humanity. And make no mistake, cohering is the hardest task history ever wrote. But tomorrow is not written by our odds of hardship, but by the audacity of our hope, by the vitality of our vote. Only now, approaching this rare air, are we aware that perhaps the American dream is no dream at all, but instead a dare to dream together. Like a million roots tethered, branching up humbly, making one tree. This is our country from many, won from battles won, our freedoms sung, our kingdom come has just begun. We redeem this sacred scene, ready for our journey from it. Together, we must birth this early republic and achieve an unearthly summit. Let us not just believe in the American dream, let us be worthy of it. Thank you.
There's a word I heard. The word is called freedom. Can you tell me what it means.
Interesting. Let me think about that for a second.
The spirit of freedom.
For me? Oh, yeah. Freedom, to me, means choice.
The ability to laugh with friends.
Be who you want to be. Go where you want to go.
Living your life day to day. Having new chapters in that life.
I believe in having your own words and being able to do what you want to.
The freedom to raise our family in healthy communities.
The idea that I can turn to my partner, my husband, and say I love you with every being of my soul.
Being able to start a family when I want to, being able to, support the missions that I want to go to the church that I want to.
Not everyone has the same opportunities, but the United States is, of anywhere I've ever been, it's the one place where you can accomplish more.
The big, fantastic thing about America is that it is the land of opportunity. I know it sounds trite, but it's the truth.
I grew up with a single mom, and she really imbued in me these qualities that you just really have to care about your neighbors and your family and your friends.
I feel like the American dream is having opportunities, having opportunity to go to college if you want to, having opportunity to get any job you can, no matter who you are or where you come from.
The American dream is about having the ability to make choices about your medical care and do whatever you want to do with your life without anybody telling you if it's good or not.
We are in an incredible moment in history. We've seen women stripped of their most fundamental right to autonomy over their bodies.
The freedom to make choices about your body, your life, your career should be entirely in your control.
But I have found that good people want to do good things.
That you find a way to move forward under ugly and scary circumstances.
The work that lies ahead is to make America live up to its highest ideals. And, we're proud to go to work.
The work to build a better future really depends on all of us coming together.
We have to bring back that respect for everyone.
I don't think we're as divided as we seem.
Let's come together as one big nation.
I feel like we are on the verge of something very amazing in this country.
It makes me want to fight for our children and future generations to ensure they have just as many, if not more, freedoms than we had.
I believe in a future where my mom can feel safe no matter where she is in the country.
A future that is filled with a healthy and vibrant planet, where families are not separated by fences or jail bars.
A future in which we all get what we need.
I want to see that for people who are younger than me.
Hopefully the kids I teach can chase their dreams and believe in what they want to be.
I want a future for him that he knows that he's covered and protected.
Everyone should think about what we can leave to the next generation. It's our responsibility. It's what we have to do.
My name's Tyler.
My name's Yvette.
And we believe in love.
I'm Alex.
I'm Kiara.
My name is Steven.
My name is Charlie. I'm a proud 7th-generation Texan.
I am from Waterford, Michigan, just north of Detroit.
I'm from East Tennessee.
And we believe in the American dream.
We believe in a better world for our child, and we believe in this country.
My name is Karen, and I believe in justice.
My name is Nancy.
My name is Thoreau.
My name is Jennings.
My name is Dana.
My name is Todd.
And we believe in freedom.
My name is Gina, and I believe in freedom.
My name is Pat, and I believe in the freedom to work together.
She, like Ruby Bridges and her friends, Leona and Gail, the New Orleans Four, they were called. They broke barriers, and they paid dearly for it. But it was the grace and guts and courage of women like Tessie Prevost Williams that paved the way for another young girl who 9 years later became part of the second class to integrate the public schools in Berkeley, California. And it seems to me that at school and at home, somebody did a beautiful job of showing this young girl how to challenge the people at the top and empower the people at the bottom. They showed her how to look at the world and see not just what is, but what can be. They instilled in her a passion for justice and freedom and the glorious fighting spirit necessary to pursue that passion. And soon, and very soon, very soon, we're going to be teaching our daughters and sons about how this child of an Indian mother and a Jamaican father, two idealistic, energetic immigrants, how this child grew up to become the 47th president of the United States. Is the best of America. You know, let me tell you this. This election isn't about us and them. It's about you and me, and what we want our futures to look like. There are choices to be made when we cast our ballot. Now, there's a certain candidate that says if we just go to the polls this one time, that we'll never have to do it again. Well, you know what? You're looking at a registered independent who's proud to vote again and again and again because I'm an American and that's what Americans do. Voting is the best of America. And I have always, since I was eligible to vote, I've always voted my values. And that is what is needed in this election now more than ever. So I'm calling on all you independents and all you undecideds. You know this is true. You know I'm telling you the truth, that values and character matter most of all. In leadership and in life. And more than anything, you know this is true, that decency and respect are on the ballot in 2024. And just plain common sense. Common sense tells you that Kamala Harris and Tim Walz can give us decency and respect. They're the ones that give it to us. So, we are Americans. We are Americans. Let us choose loyalty to the Constitution over loyalty to any individual. Because that's the best of America. And let us choose optimism over cynicism, because that's the best of America. And let us choose inclusion over retribution. Let us choose common sense over nonsense. Because that's the best of America. And let us choose the sweet promise of tomorrow over the bitter return to yesterday. We won't go back. We won't be set back, pushed back, bullied back, kicked back. We're not going back. Not going back. We're not going back. So, let us choose. Let us choose truth. Let us choose honor. And let us choose joy. Because that's the best of America. But more than anything else, let us choose freedom. Why? Because that's the best of America. We're all Americans, and together, let's all choose Kamala Harris. Thank you, Chicago. Thank you, America.
Now, I joined the Army when I was 17. In fact, I was too young to sign the paperwork. I had to ask my mom to sign the paperwork for me because I don't have bone spurs.
And don't even get me started on his new running mate. At least Mike Pence was polite. J.D. Vance is one of those guys who thinks if you don't live the life that he has in mind for you, then you don't count. Someone who said that if you don't have kids, you have, quote, no physical commitment to the future of this country. You know, Senator, when I deployed to Afghanistan, I didn't have kids then. Many of the men and women who went outside the wire with me didn't have kids either. But let me tell you, our commitment to the future of this country was pretty damn physical. Choosing a guy like J.D. Vance to be America's next vice president sends a message. And the message is that they are doubling down on negativity and grievance. Committing to a concept of campaigning best summed up in one word: darkness.
Out here, in the wide open spaces, we are reminded of the values we share: a commitment to community, country, and standing up for what's right. Tim Walz grew up in a small town in Nebraska where he spent summers working the family farm. There were just 24 students in his graduating class. His dad served during the Korean War, and that meant a lot to Tim. So he enlisted right after his 17th birthday and served 24 years in the National Guard, rising to Command Sergeant Major. Tim went to college on the GI Bill and became a social studies teacher. That's where Tim and I met. We shared a classroom with a divider right down the middle. His classroom was a lot louder than mine, but I could hear how engaged his students were. Tim taught for over 15 years, and he coached football, helping lead the team to a state championship after 0 wins just a few years before. Tim taught them how to believe in themselves and that we're all in this together. When one of our students started the school's Gay Straight Alliance, Tim agreed to serve as faculty advisor because he knew how impactful it would be to have a football coach involved. He inspired his students, and he changed lives.
He is just so joyful in everything that he does, but I think also standing up for, what he believes to be right, stands up to bullies.
Then, Tim's students inspired him to run for Congress in southern Minnesota. Tim spent a lot of time working with Republicans, fighting to help farmers and expanding veterans' benefits. Whether it was in Congress or as governor, his focus has always been helping working people like those he grew up with. That's why he fought for the largest tax cut in Minnesota state history.
But Tim Walz was there for small businesses like ours.
With the urging of Governor Walz, we were able to pass the Alex Smith Insulin Affordability Act, and it has saved lives in Minnesota.
With Tim as governor, Minnesota is one of the best places to raise a family and one of the best states for business. Tim's a lifelong hunter and gun owner. But after the Sandy Hook school shooting, he knew that we had to do something. So he's fought for background checks and red flag laws. But of all the things he's done, Tim loves being a dad. We struggled to have kids, and fertility treatments made it possible. There's a reason our daughter is named Hope. Hope and Gus mean the world to us.
Governor Walz making good on a promise to his son and family yesterday by getting them a puppy.
Then we're gonna go get some food, corn dog.
I'm vegetarian.
Turkey then. And
Turkey's meat.
Not in Minnesota, turkey special.
He's as at home on a farm, a fishing boat, a football field, or a factory floor as he is on the floor of Congress. Tim's commitment to service all comes back to the values we grew up with. Love your country, help your neighbor, and fight for what's right. Because that's what America is all about.
2 middle-class kids. One, a daughter of Oakland, California. The other, a son of the Nebraska Plains, only in America. Is it possible for them together to make it all the way to the White House?
Now, I grew up in Butte, Nebraska, a town of 400 people. I had 24 kids in my high school class, and none of them went to Yale. But I'll tell you what, growing up in a small town like that, you learn how to take care of each other. That family down the road, they may not think like you do. They may not pray like you do. They may not love like you do, but they're your neighbors. And you look out for them, and they look out for you. Everybody belongs, and everybody has a responsibility to contribute. And we made sure that every kid in our state gets breakfast and lunch every day. So while other states were banning books from their schools, we were banishing hunger from ours. And not everyone has that same sense of responsibility. Some folks just don't understand what it takes to be a good neighbor. Take Donald Trump and J.D. Vance. Their Project 2025 will make things much, much harder for people who are just trying to live their lives. They spent a lot of time pretending they know nothing about this. But look, I coached high school football long enough to know, and trust me on this, when somebody takes the time to draw up a playbook, they're going to use it. Here, this is the part, clip and save it and send it to your undecided relatives so they know. If you're a middle-class family or a family trying to get into the middle class, Kamala Harris is going to cut your taxes. If you're getting squeezed by prescription drug prices, Kamala Harris is going to take on Big Pharma. If you're hoping to buy a home, Kamala Harris is going to help make it more affordable. And no matter who you are, Kamala Harris is going to stand up and fight for your freedom to live the life that you want to lead. Because that's what we want for ourselves, and it's what we want for our neighbors. You know, you might not know it, but I haven't given a lot of big speeches like this. But I have given a lot of pep talks. So let me finish with this, team. It's the fourth quarter. We're down a field goal, but we're on offense and we've got the ball. We're driving down the field. And boy, do we have the right team. Kamala Harris is tough. Kamala Harris is experienced, and Kamala Harris is ready. Our job for everyone watching is to get in the trenches and do the blocking and tackling. 1 inch at a time, 1 yard at a time, 1 phone call at a time, 1 door knock at a time, 1 $5 donation at a time. Look, we got 76 days. That's nothing. There'll be time to sleep when you're dead. We're going to leave it on the field. That's how we'll keep moving forward. That's how we'll turn the page on Donald Trump. That's how we'll build a country where workers come first. Healthcare and housing are human rights. And the government stays the hell out of your bedroom. That's how we make America a place where no child is left hungry, where no community is left behind, where nobody gets told they don't belong. That's how we're gonna fight. And as the next president of the United States always says, when we fight, when we fight, when we fight, thank you. God bless.